Hello everyone, it's Purity here, and today I'm gonna be ranking all of the Call of Duty Zombies wonder weapons. So before we start with the video, I want to tell you guys that I stream every single day at 1 p.m. CT time zone. Link to that will be on screen right now as well as in the description. Drop me a follow if you can. I'm just gonna be on Photoshop showing you guys where I place all of the wonder weapons. And then after I show you guys the placements of each one, I will tell you my reasoning behind the placement. For the most part, it will go in chronological order. So we will start with the Raygun. Right in the C category, it just really wasn't that good of a gun. I came to the realization that the only reason why we really liked the gun was because it was really the only wonder weapon. But if you really take into account the amount of time it takes to reload, the splash damage, and the damage drop off that it has, it was a really good gun when it first came out. But then when compared against all these other wonder weapons on the list, it just doesn't really stand a chance. Next up, we got the Wonderwaffe. Kinda the same situation as with the Raygun, but for this one, it was a little bit better. Like I said on my maps ranked video, I am a really big Easter egg guy, so for me, if there was like some way for you to upgrade the gun without Pack-a-Punch, that would have added a couple of points for me. I think the B spot is pretty good. Moving on to the Thunder Gun, the A tier. It was a really good gun, but then at the same time, it kind of felt like it was too easy of a gun. Other wonder weapons, that's what they're meant to be. It was A tier for me. Moving on to the VR11. This one was a yikes. I'm not gonna lie, easy F tier for me. What can I say? I mean, you guys can tell me in the comments whether you agree or disagree with me on this. Going to the Scavenger, I feel like it was a really good gun and really fun. Basically the only sniper wonder weapon we've ever gotten, and especially in that time where everybody was quick scoping and trick shotting and all that stuff, it felt pretty cool. Next up, we got a 3179JGD215, aka the baby gun, of course. Going with the theme, it was really fun to play with. It wasn't really the best gun. It was kind of interesting the way that it turned the zombies into babies, and then you could just like stomp through them. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty fun to play with. So that's why it gets a B for me. Next up, we got the wave gun. Really cool guns. So the way that the zombies would just like get turned into popcorn basically, and they pop. They were really fun to play with. It was on the mystery box. Moving up, we got another mouthful. Bear yourselves. Thrustodyne Aeronautics Model 23, better known as the jet gun from Transit. This one gets an A for me because although Transit was such a like weird map, jet gun was pretty good, you know. The only bad thing about the gun was that it would just literally explode anytime you would use it for a little bit too much. The jet gun was pretty fun. Moving on to the Sliquifier, really good gun. Sliquifier pre-patch was just so fire, and even to this day, you guys will watch me play Die Rise and I still nag about how they patched the Sliquifier. I get it, it was way too overpowered, but man, it felt so good, you know, having the chain reactions kill basically the whole round, even up to round 100 plus. It was crazy. It was a really cool gun to play with. Now the Blundergat for me gets an S, maybe even S plus, you know. It could go in between these two. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Basically one shot for like a ton of rounds, and then you could also use the acid kit to upgrade it to the acid gat, and you could also like Pack-a-Punch it and all that. It was really cool. It was really fun, and maybe it's just because I really loved Mob of the Dead, but the Blundergat is a S tier for me. Next up, we got the Regan Mark II. Kind of the same theme as with the normal Raygun. I feel like there was just way too much hype around the Regan Mark II just because it had the name of the Raygun. It wasn't really that good. I mean, this one didn't have that much splash damage, and it had a little bit of more ammo, so that's why I put it on the B category rather than the C. but once again, the damage drop-off was just way too much. For me, the Paralyzer is a C. Literally, the only reason why this is a C for me is because of the cooldown. I feel like the cooldown should have been pushed a little bit more, and that would have been perfect for me. At first, I kind of wanted to put just like one staff representing all of them, but that felt kind of wrong for me, so we're going to be doing them one by one. First off, we're going to start with the Winstaff. This one goes an S for me. It's a really nice staff. Whenever I would be playing Origins and somebody called dibs on the ice staff, I would instantly go for the Winstaff because it's basically a little cheaper version of the ice staff. The way that you have to like upgrade the staffs and all that gave it a little bit of, you know, extra playability. It was nice for me. Moving on to the fire staff, same thing. It was good against the Panzers, I remember that. The ice staff, S+ tier, of course, basically has all of the same qualities that I already mentioned for the Winstaff and the fire staff, but this one just, it's way better because of the charge shot. Next, we have the lightning staff. This one wasn't as cool. For me, it was basically a Wonderwuff, which was why I was about to put it in the B tier. Like I said, I am a big Easter eggs guy. I'm a big story guy. So the way that you were able to upgrade it made it get a little bit of extra points. Next up, we got the Apothecan Servant. This one's really cool gun. The whole animation where you like put your hand in it, it was crazy. It was shocking at first, I'm not gonna lie, but it was a really good gun. I feel like kind of the same as with the Thunder Gun. It was just a little tiny bit too easy. All you gotta do is keep hitting the box, keep hitting the box, keep hitting the box, and it's just way too overpowered in my opinion. So next up, we got the Winter's Howl. Probably just because I did not like the map it was in. Maybe, you know, maybe. But I don't know, man. Overall, it was like a pretty whack. In my opinion, it felt that the ice staff was actually the right version, the perfect version of what the Winter's Howl could have been. Next up, we got the Lightning Bow. Easy to upgrade. The go-to when you're going for a Derison Drac, whether that's the Easter egg or high rounds. Pretty self-explanatory. Firebow, really good against the Panzers. Going with the theme as with the fire staffs. The reason why I put it in the B tier is because to me it felt like it was a little bit too hard to get for what you were getting, you know, compared to the lightning staff, which was the easiest to make and the best. The Void Bow, same situation as with the fire staff. I would probably give it like a C+ or a B-. You know, it could kind of be right in the middle of here. Now the Wolf Bow, it was kind of the in-between for the lightning and the fire and void, because this one wasn't as hard as these others. Fairly simple to get, and you could just boom, get the zombies out of your face. Now the KT4, I kind of feel bad for putting it in C, because it's kind of the same situation as with the Winter's Howl. May or may not be linked to how much I like the map, but I don't know, it just felt like it was such a cheap and bad version of the Liquefier that I loved so much. And finally, we got the MK3s. My brain literally instantly puts it in the same category as the Wave Gun, Thunder Gun, and Apothecan Servant, that they're like really good. You can get them out of the mystery box and you can rock them for like a nice amount of rounds. But anyways, that's been it for today's tier list. This one was pretty fun to make. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to this YouTube channel where I upload at least 2 videos a week, sometimes 3, sometimes even 4. Make sure you go check out my Twitch channel. The link to that will be right there. It's gonna be on screen right now, as well as in the description if you guys want to check it out. I stream every single day at 1 p.m. Central Time Zone, so make sure you go check that out. Drop me a follow if you can. That's been pretty much it. Peace.